A Tale of a Poem and a Squash by Reed Whittemore. Let me take this acorn squash grown in my garden and place beside it a poem grown in a hothouse. You will note the difference at once. The former is jolly and fat, self-contained, the latter anemic, colorless, tasteless, the clearest evidence that a poem does not make a squash. But now take the squash, and shoving its roundness into a lyric book, look how those covers squinch, being quashed. To elucidate something or other, where was I? Of late I have been reading too much on this subject. Art is not life, I am told, and thus in my garden, which as a matter of fact has no squashes, just toads, I find myself gathering, wool mostly, a few old tomatoes of rhymes, and a mythical rosebud or two, in the hope that these items will store well against winter, my chosen season, when nothing from nature is blooming except my dog, a few plants on a windowsill, and of course people, most of whom, like myself, are not of the soil, the good earth, and in winter look more like a poem than a... But as I say, this subject unnerves me. Where does one go? Into war? Poverty? To keep those squashes and poems from preening and posing, from any nit-witted author who has mouths to feed and a ballpoint pen and some paper, and thinks that if he could settle once and for all life and art and life, and how they are, he, that nit, could stake himself some sort of claim on our cultural garden, and be forever in But as I say, I have been thinking of going away.